A very good morning to you from wherever you're watching us from across the world. Welcome to day 2 of the 14th annual Nigerian Business Law Conference hosted by the Nigerian Bar Association section on business law. I do hope that you're enjoying the conference so far, and if you did join us yesterday, I am sure you are informed and enlightened on a couple of issues relating to the business, the practice of business in Nigeria. We did have those breakout sessions and, of course, the plenary sessions as well. We're very grateful to all our distinguished guests, the excellencies, the governors that also spoke yesterday. So we're delighted to get into day 2 today. And I do hope that you are also taking advantage of the hopping platform that allows you to, one, do some speed networking. That you can find that field on the platform, so please take advantage of that. And then we also encourage you to please check out the exhibitions. There's also a platform on the hopping platform. There's a field on the hopping platform that you can use to engage our exhibitors as well. So day 2 is about to begin, and we are getting right into it. But before we do that, let me just run through some of the things that are coming up. We'll be kicking things off with, if you like, an introduction into some of the initiatives of the NBA SBL. You'll be hearing more from the chairman and the secretary of the SBL Council. We'll also be getting into our plenary session and then, of course, our breakout session. So depending on your interests, you can find all the information on the Hopping platform. If you are watching us on any other platform, I do encourage you to consider getting on the Hopping platform as well. All you have to do is simply register. All right, so let's get into the first session of the day. And the NBA is constantly trying to find ways to improve the business landscape and the practice of law and to influence the broader society and economy in Nigeria. And we will be beginning this morning with a presentation on some of the initiatives of the NBA SBL. And making that presentation to kick things off is the Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association section on business law, Dr. Adeoye Adefulu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to the 14th Annual Business Law Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association section on business law. My name is Adeoye Adefulu, and I am the Secretary of the NBA SBL. My task today is to share with you 2 initiatives of the NBA SBL since our last annual conference. Over the past few years, the NBA SBL has focused on 2 main objectives: building the capacity of lawyers to support businesses and providing a bridge between business and government. The initiatives which I would like to outline today support these goals. The first is the SBL Business Law Competency Framework. The Business Law Competency Framework was put together to identify and describe the competencies, that is, behaviors, skills, and knowledge required for a business lawyer to be successful in her field. The framework identifies both general competencies, which people would term soft skills, and these would apply to every lawyer in whatever area of practice, and also specific technical competencies that are applicable in 5 practice areas that are of general application in most commercial law firms. And those practice areas are corporate, dispute resolution, intellectual property, banking and finance, and real estate. Law firms may use the competency framework to shortlist candidates, to train their lawyers, and also to reward and promote lawyers. The competency framework is also useful for individual business lawyers as a tool to assess career development and identify the competencies required to get to the next level. We also expect our training partners to use the framework to develop a variety of training programs for the different competencies at the appropriate skill level. The competency framework was commissioned by the past chair of the SBL, Mr. Olumide Apata, and launched in March 2020 by the current chair, Mr. Sheni Adio SAN. It is available on the portal of the NBA SBL for all financial members. Let me encourage you to download it. Our special thanks goes to these leaders of the SBL for contributing their time to develop this competency framework. We would also like to thank the following law firms for providing the financial support to make this possible. The second initiative I'd like to speak to you about today is the Smarter Regulatory Framework. The Smarter Regulatory Framework was birthed from the proceedings of the 13th Annual Business Law Conference, where we discussed how to make regulation better in Nigeria. Over the years, businesses have complained of regulatory overreach, competition amongst regulators at federal, state, and local government levels, arbitrary decision-making, and the imposition of excessive penalties amongst several regulatory concerns. Smarter regulation delivers clearly defined, measurable policy objectives in the least burdensome way through a transparent, objective, and consultative process. The Smarter Regulatory Framework is based on IATA's Smarter Regulation Initiative and leans on the excellent work done by the OECD. Whilst our long-term objective is to support the development of a smarter regulation policy and legislation by the federal and state governments, the Smarter Regulatory Framework provides an immediate tool for analysis of government regulations and laws. The SRF is made up of 11 questions which address key issues typically faced by business across various sectors when dealing with regulatory instruments. These questions are the regulations within the ambit of the regulator? Is the regulatory objective clear? Could this objective have been achieved through a less intrusive mechanism? Are the measures transparent and objective? Are the penalties under the regulation commensurate with the offense? Were the relevant stakeholders consulted before the regulations were issued? Are any administrative charges proposed cost reflective? Are the regulations consistent with other regulations issued by that body or any other body operating in the sector? Was an impact assessment conducted? Do the regulations impose a significant compliance burden? Is there a system of appeal? The SRF will be deployed when a draft of a new business law or regulation is made public. It is designed to be used both as a quantitative assessment through a yes or no questionnaire and as a qualitative assessment through a more detailed industry survey when required. When used as a quantitative assessment, a law or regulation will require an 80% pass mark to be SRF certified. Ultimately, through continued usage, we aim to get a wide acceptance of this tool from both industry and government. We are already in discussions with industry bodies across various sectors of the economy to adopt this tool. The SRF is available on the SBL website, www.nbasbl.org. We welcome you to begin to test the utility of the tool by applying it to new and existing regulations. Finally, let me thank you for taking time to listen and for supporting the SBL as we serve you. If you are not already a member, please join us by going to our website. I wish you successful deliberations at our first virtual conference. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to our distinguished delegates. It's good to be with you this morning. I thank Dr. Adeoye Adefulu for that very brilliant presentation. Dr. Adefulu took ownership of that project, and I think he did a very brilliant job. But for the fact that we're in an EE environment, I would have said he deserves a resounding applause. Mine is an easy task this morning. I think Dr. Adefulu has said it all. But again, I can't overemphasize, or we cannot overemphasize, thanking the various lawyers and the law firms that supported the initiatives that he just described. Again, the SBL continued to push new frontiers in terms of supporting and encouraging young lawyers and making sure that they're well-trained and well-groomed. So, for example, the competency framework that he described is one initiative that is especially dear to my heart because it reminds me of when I started not that long ago. For most of you might be thinking that was such a long time ago, but when I started as a young lawyer. But seriously, I had people that mentored me in terms of from when I was hired as a young associate, helping me to get retained, and then helped me to get promoted, ultimately to becoming a partner in a large law firm in the US. So we're hoping that we can also encourage our young lawyers through these various initiatives. Before I yield the floor, again, I'd like to thank the law firms and the lawyers that supported us. The young lawyers can be rest assured that the SBL will continue to look out for you, so to speak, and make sure that we continue to cater for your various needs to make you towards making you the best lawyers that you can be. So with that, we're going to get right into the thick of things, and I wish all of us a very insightful and very informative proceedings for the rest of the day. Thank you.